Good morning. Happy Wednesday. We are to the middle of the week. Good morning. Good morning, Miss DG. Happy Wednesday. Y'all, I'm working my way through the devotion. I should have it ready by Friday to be able to send it out to y'all. I worked on it yesterday. I got to maybe almost the halfway point, so I'm going to try to finish it today or tomorrow at the latest. Good morning, my Miss My Therapy is planning. Happy Wednesday. Good morning, Miss Shamika. Happy Wednesday. Good morning, Miss Lisa. Good morning, Miss Sunshine. Good morning, Miss Shay. Good morning, Miss Nene. Happy Wednesday. Y'all got me a cup of coffee this morning. Good morning, Miss Adiola. Okay. That's okay. That's why we have the replay. Listen, I don't ever want y'all to be stressed trying to get on this devotion in the morning, okay? Soft mornings only, okay? Soft mornings only around here. God is good. But I don't ever want you to be stressed out. Like, if something is making you stressed, chill. Don't rush. Calm down. This is why I save every live and the good Lord, knock on wood, I don't believe in luck, but the good Lord has allowed me to save every live, and I probably need to like do a backup recording. So let me start thinking about that. But listen, soft mornings only, okay? I don't want you to be stressed trying to get on here. You can see this at any time that's convenient for you. Good morning, Miss Valika. Good morning. Lavins came back. Vitamin D. Vitamin D deficiency. I'm glad I went. And now I can handle that. Thank you, God, for health. Amen. Yes. Okay. So you know what you need to do, Miss April? You need to get out there in that sun too. I don't know if the sun is coming out where you're at, but just a suggestion. The sun is good for us. Like we need to get out there and get some sunlight, open windows, take a 10, 15 minute. Listen, the problem I find basically with me, because I can't speak for other people, but the problem I find is we try to do too much all at once when we just need to take the first step. We just need to 10, 15 minutes. We don't got to make a production out of everything, you know. That's all I'm saying. Good morning, Miss Carletta. Good morning, Miss T. Miller. Good morning, Miss Cassandra. Good morning, Miss Naturally Reed. Good morning, Miss On an Island. Yes, and we're glad that you went. Good morning, Miss Tanaya. Okay, good. Yes. Mine too. Yes. The gym. Listen, we ain't got to do it all at once. Baby steps. Baby steps, okay? Progress is better than perfection, all right? Remember that. All right, 7:05. Let's get started. Today is day 18. I'm so happy you went to the doctor, Miss April. Yes, thank you, Lord. Day 18, the power of a soft answer. Good morning, Miss Donna. Happy Wednesday. Speaking with wisdom. I got some things we could talk about today, okay? And your girl got some sleep. Our Bible verse is Esther 7:3, and it says, "If I have found favor in your sight, O king, and if it pleases the king, let my life be spared." Good morning, Miss Robin. So, the devotion is Esther could have accused the king of ignorance. And we talked about that before. She could have came in there and been like, listen. Oh, good evening. But that's not what she did. Esther could have accused the king of ignorance, but instead she spoke softly and wisely. A feminine woman speaks with grace, not aggression. Okay? Our affirmation this morning is, my words carry wisdom, grace, and peace. Okay? Our journal prompt is, how can you practice wisdom and patience in your speech? Our mouth is a very powerful thing. We know that life and death is in the power of the tongue because the good Lord says so, right? So we have to be careful of our words, be careful of our speech. We have to be careful of the tone, how we say things, how much we say, like oversharing, all of those things. And it seems like a lot, but once you get into a practice, it's really not. It's really not. I am learning. God has been teaching me to shut my mouth. Okay. Baby, one thing marriage will teach you is to control that tongue, okay? And your girl is learning. So let's read our verse. I actually want to read, thank you. I actually want to read the Message translation. So in the Message translation, it says, "If I have found your favor, your majesty, and if you so desire, save my life. This is what I ask. And my people, this is my request." So do you see how she came at him? Like, she humbled herself and she came at him like, "If I have found your favor, your majesty." She acknowledged he was the king. He make the decisions, okay? Listen, my mama told me a long time ago. My mama and my mother-in-law, former mother-in-law, told me, sometimes you just gotta let it be their idea. You just gotta let it be their idea, okay? It doesn't matter who came up with the idea. It doesn't matter that you came up with the idea. You just gotta let it be their idea, okay? And I ain't gonna lie to you, it works every time. But that's like the old saying, do you want to be right or do you want to be married? She says, "If I have found your favor, your majesty, and if you so desire, save my life. This is what I ask. And my people, this is my request." So you see how we talked about how we should be giving an invitation to people. Do you see how she invited him to make a decision? She didn't make the decision for him. She didn't say, you have to do this. She wasn't aggressive. She came to him as knowing that he's the king, he has the power, he makes the decisions. She humbled herself, which is sometimes hard for us to do, myself included. I'm talking about me, not y'all. And she made her request known. Good morning, Miss Natarsa. Good morning, Miss Patricia. Happy Wednesday. She didn't go in there. It works every time. It does. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Ms. Reed. So she didn't go in there demanding. She didn't go in there telling them what to do. She went in there and she said, "If you so desire, save my life." If you desire, I'm putting this back on you. I'm putting the ball in your court. I am inviting you to help me. Okay? You said, what do I want? This is what I want. How you say things matter. Yes, let him think it's this idea. It worked in my marriage. Absolutely. Sometimes they just gotta, like, I had to tell my oldest daughter that, because she would be like, when, she was younger. She'd be like, Dad said no. I was like, he may have said no at first. Give it some time. He'll come back and he'll be like, okay, you could go. But it has to be from him making that decision, not you telling him what you want to do. Right? And every time I'd be like, just wait. Just give it a minute. Have some patience. Go about your day. Do the things that you know you're supposed to be doing. And he's going to come back and be like, and it works for my husband too, because now when my daughter wants to do things, like she wants to go to the museum this Saturday with her friends. One of their dads works at the Museum of Science, I believe. So anytime she wants to do anything, she asks me, and I evaluate the situation, and then I let her know, hey, I'm okay with it, but did you ask your stepdad? Because I am not a single mother anymore, right? So she would be like, oh, he didn't respond yet, because kids want a response right away, like my husband's working. Okay. Or she'll be like, oh, he didn't say anything because he's evaluating it, or he may have said no, and then he will come back to me and he will be like, so what do you think? Well, who's this person? Have we met them before? Da 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 da. Right? He'll say all of those things, and then he'll go back to her and say, okay, you could go. Even though he told her no. It's just that it has to be their decision. But anyway, we're off track. I wanted to read the Message version because, thank you, because I think that it is important to evaluate exactly how she approached the king, because that is how we should be striving to speak to people, to our loved ones, to people that we work with, to people that are in authority above us, right? So, how can we learn to provide a soft answer? That's the first thing that we're going to be talking about. And then we're going to talk about a little bit about oversharing, right? Keeping a mystery about ourselves, okay? So, even in a high pressure moment, Esther remained composed, which we talked about, respectful, and wise. She could have accused Haman in anger or frustration, but instead she used a soft answer, one that was poised, strategic, and graceful. She was very strategic in her speech to the king, right? So, how can we learn to respond with wisdom and softness, even in difficult situations? Pausing before we speak. Proverbs 29:11 says, a fool gives full vent, but a wise man quietly holds it back, okay? A feminine woman of faith does not react impulsively. She takes a breath, pauses, and responds with grace. Listen, we don't have to be involved in rapid fire discussions, okay? We're not on TV. We're not on TV, right? We can take our time to pause. We can take our time to think about something before we actually speak, right? We can take our time to listen to respond rather than listen and understand to respond rather than not listening and thinking about our response, right? I tend to do that. I know that about me. My husband will start talking and I'll start thinking what I want to say back rather than listening to what he has to say. And that's not fair, because truth be told, when we talk, we want them to listen to us, right? So we have to do the same. So if you feel triggered, pause before responding. And if you feel triggered, find out why you feel triggered, because you have to understand you're the one feeling that way, right? You're the one getting upset or, feeling a certain type of way about something that someone says, right? So you are going to have to figure out why you are feeling that way, why this response is coming up in your body. Is there something that you may have an issue with, that you need to work on? That's not that other person's fault, right? Not necessarily. Take a deep breath. Pray silently and choose your words wisely. Listen, I am always praying before I get on here every morning. I am praying about the words that come out of my mouth, the things that we discuss. Always let it all be you, Lord, none of me. Because if it's me, I don't want to lead y'all astray, okay? Because I am a work in progress. God is working on me every single day. And he's working on me, and I know that he's working on me because there are things that have happened that I am proud of myself for the way that I have responded. I'm proud of myself for the way that I have acted. So I know I'm a work in progress, but baby, I'm still flawed, very much so. So always all of God, none of me, okay? Pray. If you don't know what to say, it is okay for you to stop speaking. No one says you always have to have an answer. No one says that you always have to have a response right then and there. I always, if I get into a situation, and this is something that me and my husband discussed before we got married, when we were first started dating, he would be like, what is your response when you're mad? And my response when I am mad is to stop talking to you, okay? Because I have a tendency to shut down. And he was like, he can't deal with that. My husband cannot deal with that. Okay. He does not like that. So, what I have to do before I go there is say, hey, I'm going to need a little bit of time to think about this. Okay. I'm going to need some time to process this. And it's okay. It's okay because I'm letting him know I'm going to get back with you, but just give me a minute. Give me some time. Okay. Because I don't want to say anything that I can't take back. Right. And once those words out there, you can't take them back, right? It's so good. Basically, I need to hold my tongue. Yes, we need to hold our tongue. Me included, okay? Yes, I understand, Miss Anna Island. I am good for shutting down, and that's not good. That's not responding to people in love. Shutting down, not letting the people that love you. Now, I'm not... Y'all know who to use that with and who not, right? Really, we should be using it all, but some people don't deserve your response, okay? You know who those people are. But the people that do, that genuinely love you, and maybe they made a mistake or, something happened beyond their control, and you're upset, we shouldn't, that's not responding in love by shutting down. Now, it is okay. Like I said, you don't have to respond right away, but let that person know that, right? And that covers you and them. Remind yourself, I don't have to react. I can respond with grace. Okay? Choose your words with wisdom and grace. Proverbs 15:1 says, a soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The words you use set the tone. You set the tone, really. The man is the head, but the woman is the neck, okay? And we can turn things our way. We can turn things the right way, not necessarily our way. Let me say that. See, I told you I'm work in progress. Esther didn't demand or accuse. She made a request with humility and wisdom. This must be for me this morning. I got up this morning telling my husband, oh, no. That's all right. You go silent, yeah. So use I statements instead of you accusations. When you say you made me feel that way, immediately defenses go up. What do you mean I? What do you mean I made you feel that way? I feel this way because I don't like when you do so and so. I feel a certain type of way when you don't say good morning to me in the morning. Something like that, right? Not you ignore me. You don't listen to me. No, that's not I statements instead of you. Because when you address someone like that, it feels very, very accusatory and the defenses go up and then it's immediate argument, right? And we want to avoid that. That's not how we want to spend our time, right? I used to always say, I'm not going to argue with you. I want to use my last breaths. Okay, I'm saving all of my breaths to tell my loved ones I love them on my deathbed. I used to say that back in the day all the time. I'm not going to argue with you. These breaths got to be saved, okay? And I'm not. Anyway, speak calmly and respectfully, even when you're upset. Respect is very important, especially when you're dealing with a man. They don't love like we love, okay? They 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 don't they need our love. I'm not saying that, but even more so they need our respect. They need our admiration. They need our appreciation. And so when you get disrespectful, especially if you get into the you get into emasculating a man, it's not an easy road to come back from. It's not an easy road to come back from. Ask me how I know. It's not an easy road to come back from. So definitely make sure that you are respectful to everyone, not just a man, but I'm just saying when dealing with them, that's very, very important to them, right? Avoid sarcasm, criticism, or raising your voice. Let me tell y'all something about me. I cannot be sarcastic to save my life, okay? And, okay, have a good day, Miss Naturally Reed. And your girl don't get sarcasm. My father-in-law is very sarcastic. He will say something, and I'll be like, for real? He'd be like, Nicole. So, yes, sarcasm is not my thing. I don't have an issue with that. I really have an issue with understanding it. And it's so funny because Riley is the same way. She'll be like, Mama, did he mean that? I'll be like, girl, I don't know. We both be over there lost, okay? Lost because we are dealing with very sarcastic, because my husband's sarcastic too. And we just be like, me and Riley. And it's so funny because my bonus baby, good morning, Miss Jenny. Happy Wednesday. My bonus baby is sarcastic. She's just like them. So we be over there lost and Lindsay be knowing exactly what they saying. But anyway, avoid sarcasm, criticism, or raising your voice. It's very important for us to work on our tone. It's very important not for people to take us out of our character. Good morning, Miss Monica. Happy Wednesday. It's very important for us to keep a even keeled tone. Now, I'm not saying I be out here and be monotone. I have the tendency to be monotone sometimes, and that's not a good thing. We do want to express emotion in our voice, but not to the point where we are raising our voice and yelling, right? How do you feel when someone raises their voice with you, right? You get instantly, you feel like you're being attacked, right? It's an argument that's going to ensue after someone raises their voice with you, right? So in the same respect, we have to treat people like we want to be treated, right? So maintain a soft and feminine tone. Proverbs 31:26 says, she opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. Your tone matters just as much as your words. Let me read that again. Your tone matters just as much as your words. Good morning, Miss Kimber. Happy Wednesday. A gentle tone can diffuse tension, while a harsh one can escalate conflict, right? We are called to be gentle in our tone, right? We shouldn't be the ones out there loud, yelling, cussing, all of those things. Our tone matters. How you say things to people matter, right? Lowering your voice, smiling while you speak, speaking with inflection in your tone and your voice. All of those things matter, right? And it invites people in. It makes people want to listen to you, right? So be mindful of your tone. Slow down when speaking to avoid sounding defensive. I'm from Texas. We naturally speak slow. If you've ever listened to Beyonce speak, my cousin, we speak very slowly, okay? A lot of people want us to hurry up. And it's funny because my dad is from New York. He speaks quickly. Well, he doesn't speak as quickly as he did anymore. But sometimes you could tell we're talking and he just like wants us to get it out. What do you have to say? Okay. But we speak slowly here, right? Yes, tone is very important. It can make or break the discussion. Absolutely, Miss Michelle. So, um, slow down when speaking to avoid sounding defensive. Yes, your posture does speak volumes. That's right. I have a very soft voice. When I get upset, it's like the Incredible Hulk. Listen, my past life, which is not too long ago, when I get upset, I start fussing and cussing and raising my voice. Baby, my kids start scurrying. They know, oh, she mad, because I don't really cuss like that. Like, not like get upset and cuss like that, which I'm getting away from. I told y'all that's my past life. Forgive me. But because usually I'm very monotone. I've used soft tone to others that have been loud and it changes their tone immediately. Right, because listen, people can't argue with you if you don't let them. I'm working on that, being more gentle because I am very forward. So that mixed with my tone sometimes makes people defensive when they don't have to be. I understand, Miss Kimber. God is helping you. He helping me too, Miss April. So instead of saying, oh no, keep your voice soft, calm, and even, right? Because you set the tone. You set the tone. Remember that. In a conversation, you can set the tone. And if you stay calm, that person has no choice to either get calm or walk away. And that's usually what happens in those instances. If emotions rise, excuse yourself and return when you can speak with peace. And that is very good, because when we get upset and we speak out of emotion, it's not a good thing. It's never, in my instance, let me speak for me. It's never been a good thing for me. Ever, ever, ever. When I get upset and I start speaking and I start thinking about, past stuff and all that listen, all the stuff come out and it's not good. It's not good. And just know, they said when we were little, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. And they lied, okay? Because words hurt. Words linger on. After you have healed from whatever broken bones, and I'm not saying for people to be out here breaking your bones. That's not what I'm saying. But once you have healed, that's done, right? But once someone has said those words to you, they stay. They stay up here, and you start thinking about them and ruminating on them, and oh my God, and why did they say that? And then you're trying to figure things out and get an understanding as to why they would say that about you. And listen, words hurt. They hurt more than actually being sick or breaking a bone, right? So we have to be careful with our words. You're a teacher, married for 25 years, and I have to practice this daily. Absolutely. I'm learning not to immediately take things personally. That's good, Miss Anna Island, but instead to see where the other person... And I think that's a lot of what happens. We get on the defense because we start taking it personal. I can tell you, let me just be honest with y'all. People aren't really thinking about you like that. Speaking for me, because I had to learn that the hard way. Sometimes when I think someone's mad at me, they're really not upset with me. They're just going through their own thing. We have to learn how to take ourselves out of the equation, right? And really, really just mind our business. Really, that's what it comes down to. They're really not thinking about you like that. It's really not a personal attack on you. It's things that they are going through, right? It's a good word to remind us how we are to speak. Absolutely. So, if emotions rise, excuse yourself and return when you can speak with peace. I keep it cool with clear communication so there's no mix up, because I won't be giving myself a headache. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, appeal to the heart, okay? Not just logic. Esther 7:3 says, if I have found favor with you, your majesty, and if it pleases you, okay? You see how she appeared to his human side, not his logical side, right? She appealed to his emotions, his heart. If I have found favor with you. Good morning, Miss OK Josie Simplify. Happy Wednesday. If I have found favor with you, your majesty, if it pleases you, right? Instead of arguing facts or making demands, Esther appealed to the king's heart. Feminine women understand the power of emotional intelligence. When addressing a conflict, frame it in a way that speaks to the other person's heart, right? Um, we are women, right? Men are the ones that are, not saying we're not logical, because of course everyone has masculine and feminine energy and we need both, right? But we as women should be leaning more on our feminine energy side as not to drain ourselves, right? And deplete ourselves, okay? I think that women get into it where they're like, oh, well, no, I need to do this and I need to do that. Excuse me, y'all. Let me spit this out. Excuse me, y'all. This cold still coming up. But oh, well, no, we need to do this and we need to do that. And we need to do. And yes, there are times that we need to do, right? We need our masculine energy to mother, to protect our children and things like that. However, when we stay in our masculine energy too much, we are depleted. We are stressed out. We get sick. This is why we have, and these are just my opinions. I know I'm not a medical professional, but this is why we have so many women issues such as fibroids and cysts and all these type of things, because we are stressing our bodies out. We were not meant to handle all of that. We were not meant to handle it. So instead of appealing to logic, we have to learn how to appeal to people's emotional side, people's human side, people's hearts, okay? Not just men, but everyone. Good morning, Miss Patrice. Happy Wednesday. Everyone, right? So, frame it in a way that speaks to the other person's heart. Instead of saying you're wrong, try I value our relationship and I want to find a way forward together. I want for us to resolve that. I think if we let people know that we are not trying to stay on that opposite end, that we want to resolve the issue, right? That I value our relationship, I value what you mean to me, and I want to continue on, I think that that will help a lot, right? Because sometimes a lot of people think things are black and white, right? Either we in this or we end it. That's not how a lot of conflict works, right? A thing that I used to do that I have had to work on is someone makes you upset, you want to instantly end things, right? I was that woman that threatened divorce all the time. Not with this marriage, but in my former marriage. And that probably needed to be divorced, but I'm just saying. Right? Thank you, Miss Adiola. But that's not good. We shouldn't be in our relationships threatening to leave, right? Thank you. We shouldn't be in our relationships threatening to end them, right? Just because we get into conflict. Conflict is going to happen, right? It's inevitable. Do you ever feel like being the only bigger person all the time is draining? It is. It's very draining. However, what you can do is ask God to renew your strength. And you can have boundaries, right? Because if you're always being the bigger person, there may be something that you need to evaluate in that relationship where you need to put up a boundary and say, hey, I still want us to be in relationship together, but these are the things that I can't deal with, right? That's me. I would threaten to leave so fast. Yeah, we can't be doing that. My manager years ago used to come to my office and just started talking about work stuff. I would immediately say good morning, and it changed how she approached me going for it. That's so good, Miss Cassandra. Thank you for sharing that. That is so good. Like, again, we set the tone. We set the tone, right, in our relationships. And that was your boundary, and that's what I was saying, Miss Kimber. Sometimes you're going to have to enforce. You're gonna have to figure out what your boundaries are if you don't know what those are, and then once you figure those out, you're gonna have to enforce them, right? We can't tell people that we're not putting up with this stuff and then put up with it, because people gonna call BS, right? So if you feel like you're being put into a situation where you're the bigger person all the time, you need to evaluate, what your boundaries are, and enforce them. As well as ask God, because I think that we need to stop all the time wanting to break up with people, and I'm not just talking about romantic relationships, okay? Like the cut off, I'm gonna cut you off, and the cancel culture and all of that. That's not good. That's not what God called us to do. That's not operating in love. Like our first devotion, we read about love. We read about 1 Corinthians 13, right? That's like, would you want someone to constantly cut you off? Right? Does it feel good to be cut off in traffic? No. So just think about that in real life. Like, we have to stop. Now I'm not saying we know, listen, use your common sense. We know some people are just toxic, okay? In toxic situations, yes, we need to leave them. And some people we have to just love from afar. But if you know someone is trying, if you know someone genuinely is trying and that they love you, why don't you extend love back? Why is it that we always want to cut someone off just because they made a mistake? Okay, and then not tell them the mistake that they made, and have them wondering and trying to figure things out and wondering why the relationship ended and all this kind. That's not good. That's not good to leave people in confusion. Especially friendships. Women and friendships, we got to stop that, because we'll forgive that man that did us 30, 50, 11 times, right? But our friends, when they make a mistake, which they're human, people are going through life, you do not know what is going on in people's life. Like Miss April had vitamin D deficiency, had her tired, stressing her, all of those things, that was going on with her. And then, it's easy for that to translate into everyday life, right? So you don't know what people are going through. That's just that always reminds me when Chadwick Boseman was sick. The man had stage 4 colon cancer, same thing, right? And he filmed the whole movie, right? And I can tell you, I don't know how he did that. I have no idea how he did that. But they talked about him. Oh, he's too skinny. What's going on with him? And that man was going through an illness. And everybody felt bad when he passed away. You do not know what people are going through. And not even just what they're going through, what may be happening in their family, right? I don't like to keep talking about our current administration, but, it's got people stressed. It's got people worried. It's got people anxious, right? And they just trying to make it just like you. So, especially in friendships, we got to stop. We got to start extending love. Let's love each other like God says. That doesn't mean, again, don't enforce your boundaries. That doesn't mean just shut up. If someone has done something to you, if you feel like they have wronged you in a way, have a conversation. And before you have that conversation, pray. Ask God to guide you on your words, and ask God to open their heart as well as yours, right? And then try to resolve it. And if it doesn't get resolved, hey, you tried. But stop trying to just cut people off and think that that's cute. It's not. Nah, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. Listen, y'all know how y'all really don't know, but me and Sheena, we be falling out. Not recently, but we fell out. And I have had to say, because I value her friendship and because she values mine, girl, we gonna get over this, okay? You're my friend. You ain't ever getting rid of me, okay? She said the same thing to me. We've hurt each other's feelings, but we have forgiven each other and moved on, right? And it's made us stronger. It makes the next conflict, because you're going to have conflict, easier. And we know, you know what? We love each other. Maybe we just need some space. We'll get back together, right? Yeah. A lot of people are fighting silent battles. Absolutely, Miss Michelle. But anyway, instead of saying you're wrong, I say try saying I value our relationship and I want us to find a way forward together. Invite cooperation, not conflict. Okay? Be strategic, not reactive. We know that Esther was very strategic with the way that she handled the whole situation. And sometimes that's how we have to approach things in life that we are going up against. Ecclesiastes 3:7 says, a time to be silent and a time to speak. Esther didn't rush into revealing Haman's evil plan. She waited for the right moment and she chose her words carefully. The key points is she waited and she chose carefully. Um, we have to practice patience, ladies. We have to practice patience in our speech. We have to practice patience in waiting for a response, right? A lot of times, and my husband has taught me this, I will ask him something, and just like Riley, I want a response right away. And he's like, babe, I'm working, or I need to think about it. I need to check some things out, especially if it's about money. I need to see, what we got to pay, this, that, or the other. I'm going to get back with you. But I want a response now. Like, can I spend this money right now, sir? I want to go shopping. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want a response right then and there. And, I have to have patience, right? Because if you get into the point where you're trying to rush somebody, it's never going to be good. It's never going to be a good outcome on that, right? So, don't rush. Ask yourself, is this the right time to speak? That's the same thing like when they say when your husband comes home from work or gets off of work, not rushing in there to try to, hey, this happened with the kids and da-da-da, like giving him a minute. Yeah. And you deserve that too. Don't think that's just for him. That's for you too. And if you got to give yourself the minute, then do that. Girl, you're speaking to me. Wait. Yes, we got to have patience, especially when we're presenting requests. Not every battle needs a response. Learn when to hold your peace. Okay, we talked about that. When you do speak, make your words count. Speak with intention. Be careful. Use I statements instead of you statements. Watch your tone. All of those things. Trust God can handle what you cannot. Exodus 14:14 says the Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. A feminine woman of faith does not force, chase, or demand. We've talked about that time and again. She does her part and trusts God with the outcome. And sometimes in conversations, in conflict, in issues, we have to just give the issue to God. You know what? I don't know what to do with this one, Lord. I'm gonna let you work this out. And he will. He absolutely will. When facing a difficult situation, pray before responding. If someone refuses to listen, let God handle what you can't. Don't you try to get out there and handle it. And all of that, getting aggressive, raising your voice, demanding, cussing, fussing. You know how it is. That's never a way to get someone to listen and also get the response that you want. Okay? Walk in confidence knowing God's favor is already working on your behalf. We as believers have to say what God would do. Less of me, Lord, more of you. I pray every day. Every day. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. Yes, Miss Monica. I think that was the verse earlier that we talked about. So, a feminine woman of faith knows that softness is not weakness. It is strength under control, right? There's nothing wrong with a soft response. That doesn't make you less of a person because you decided to respond softly, right? That doesn't diminish you, right? In fact, it's very, like we talked about, being soft means that you're malleable, right? It means that you can handle things a little bit better. If you're hard, that's not a good thing. A feminine woman of faith doesn't react, she responds. She doesn't raise her voice, she raises her wisdom. And she doesn't attack, she appeals to the heart. Are you appealing to the heart, right? When you're speaking to people, are you appealing to their emotional side? Soft answers carry divine power. Your grace, your wisdom, and your poise can shift situations in your favor. Just like Miss Cassandra said, people coming in there in our office talking, good morning. I know that's a common thing when people hit me up in the DMs. They'll just start talking. Um, Where'd you get that from? Da da da. Good morning. How you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, we need to use our manners. So I also want us to talk about how feminine women of faith should avoid oversharing. We kind of talked about oversharing the other day, and I thought that that was something important for us to talk about. There is power in having a little bit of mystery, right? A feminine woman of faith carries an air of mystery, not in a secretive or deceptive way, but in a graceful, wise, and intentional manner. I don't think it's so much of being deceptive or secretive. It is being intentional. It is being intentional with what we share, right? It is being intentional with what we speak. We don't have to always tell everything, right? We don't always have to share every point, every part of our lives, every detail. Sometimes you need to let people just experience you, right? It shouldn't always be, they shouldn't know everything about you before they meet you. Some people just need to experience you, right? That is giving them a gift, your experience. But that is not a gift if they know everything about you already, right? Proverbs 29:11 says, a fool vents all his feelings, but a wise person holds them back. A feminine woman of faith understands that not everything needs to be shared with everyone, right? Some people need to earn our trust before we share, our respect, those type of things. We have to learn a word that I am learning, which is discretion. Discretion is important, right? Especially when you're in a relationship. A man doesn't want everyone knowing all y'all business, okay? It's just how men are. That's how they move. They probably a little smarter in that respect, because us as women, we like to blab all of everything, you know, and sometimes that's not a good move. Oversharing can diminish your influence. Proverbs 17:27 says, the one who has knowledge uses words with restraint, and whoever has understanding is even tempered. People respect and value those who speak with intention. If you share everything with everyone, it can make your words lose their weight, right? It can make it appear that, to people that you are less valuable. When you out there all the time running your mouth, doing this, doing that, like, no. When you are using discretion, when you are being intentional about where you show up and how you show up, when you are being intentional about how you speak and what you share, there's value in that for you and for other people. So pause before speaking. Ask yourself, does this need to be shared? Speak less but with impact. When we speak less, when we choose our words carefully, when we are not running off at the mouth, as people say, our words, when we do have something to say, people are more apt to listen, right? We are more impactful, right? If we're always talking, are people going to listen? Like, how many times have you seen people talking on their stories and you just gone on Instagram and you just gone skip by because you're like, oh, Lord, here they go, here they go. But if you know a person, if Beyonce was to come on her stories right now and start talking, because Beyonce is the master of this, okay? Her and my girl Marjorie Harvey. You do not see them out in these streets sharing everything, telling everything. When they speak, you gonna listen, because, Lord, Beyonce barely ever talk. Probably because they be talking about my girl, but how slow she talk. But that's how we talk. But listen, when they got something to say, It's impactful. We listen. We slow down. We stop what we doing. She about to make an announcement. Oh Lord, all of this, right? But if a person is always on there talking, like Dr. Umar, even though some of the stuff Dr. Umar be saying, he be a little bit on point, but he talks so much, right? And you like, God dang, and this man stopped talking, right? Do you have something to say about everything? It's less impactful, right? Let people wonder about your thoughts rather than always explaining yourself. Get comfortable with silence. Get comfortable with silence. There's nothing wrong with silence, right? Especially ladies that are dating. Get comfortable with silence. Just because it's silence, that don't mean that you should need to fill it up, okay? That don't mean that you need to be talking. That don't mean that you need to be saying something. Get comfortable with silence. Silence is okay. That doesn't mean anything is wrong, and that comes from us taking things personal. Oh my God, he's quiet, something's wrong, he doesn't like me, da da da, and all of our thoughts. Be comfortable with silence, right? Doing that will want people, will make people want to know more about you, right? Like, she doesn't feel the need to just be talking to be talking. Like, what she has to say is important. So be comfortable with silence. Let people wonder about your thoughts rather than always explaining yourself. Keep some mystery inside. Yes. Ooh, that's good. Thank you, Miss Kimber. You can observe better when you're quiet. You absolutely can. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world, right? Everyone does not need to know what you are thinking all of the time. Yes, Lord, Dr. Umar will put you to sleep with all that talking, although you may want to hear some of the things he has to say. Yes! Like when I was first introduced to Dr. Umar, it was years ago on the radio. He had an interview and he was talking about a school for, I think at the time for boys, or for Black children. I don't know. He was talking about a school and the points that he was making about the education system and all that kind of stuff. It was very valid. But then as years went on, he talked more and more and more, and I listened less and less and less, right? I let others talk. We learn about others, good and not so good. Absolutely. And that's important with dating. Like, sometimes, listen, I could tell y'all, and it's so funny. My husband did all the talking when we first started dating. I didn't say much. I didn't say much to the point where we got to our third date, and I think that's like when he figured out that, well, he said from when he met me, but I think that's when he started evaluating, okay, I really do want to be with this lady. That man asked me like 20 questions, rapid fire, baby. Because I told y'all I was just going with the flow, having a good time. He asked me so many questions. I was like, dang, what am I in an interview? Like, because I was quiet, but that was not me in my previous dating life. Like, I always had something to say. If it was silent, I wanted to fill in the silence. Da, 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 da. No. Even now, he has to ask all the questions because I'd be like, I don't know. Yeah. So Matthew 7:8 says, do not cast your pearls before swine. Remember that verse. Don't be out here casting your pearls, ladies, to pigs, because that's what it means. That's why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Absolutely. Your thoughts, emotions, and personal life are precious pearls. Not everyone deserves access to them. Not everyone deserves access to them. Some of these people are not wishing you the best, right? We've heard that, but it's true. Some people are not wishing you the best. And they are waiting for you to fail. And they are waiting to hear about the bad times. And sometimes, that doesn't mean you don't have a testimony to share. But just be thoughtful. Be discreet in how you share things, right? Be selective with whom you share personal struggles and dreams with, okay? Build trust before opening up deeply. Someone, especially, and I just refer to dating because that's what I know. Especially in dating, like, you should not be getting on a date and telling a man about everything that some other man did to you. That's not a good, it's not a good thing. Because honestly, some men think that because one man did you wrong, they're going to see how, if they could do it worse, okay? If that you'll take even more. And it's unfortunate, but it's true. And honestly, I even in trust, some things should just be. You ever heard somebody say, "Just keep that to your chest, keep up here"? Some things I have not shared with people because it just don't need to be shared. It's my personal thing that I went through, and the more you talk about things, the more you bring them up, the more it stays in the atmosphere, so to speak. Some things just need to be, and I'm not talking about like secrets or things that people need to know, right? I'm talking about things that just happen to you that maybe you've healed from or you're healing from, and that you just don't need to keep bringing up and addressing, right? Some things need to be taken to the grave. It's how I feel. You can feel how you want to feel, but some things need to just be taken to the grave with you. It don't need to keep being discussed and brought up and hurting yourself with that information. And sometimes when you share things with people, they will use that to hurt you later, intentionally or unintentionally. That's just, to me, human nature. And I don't necessarily hold it against someone, but I do take note, right? Like, you've been in an argument with people and they brought out things that you told them, things that you said, right? Like me and my ex boyfriend, we got into a really bad argument one time, and he brought up some things I had told him about my ex husband. I was like, that was not cool, and it took us a minute to get back from that, because I was like, no, you don't do. I didn't tell you that for you to hurt me with that later. So be careful with what you share with people, even loved ones. They should have your trust, okay? Save your most sacred thoughts for God, your journal, and trusted loved ones. I love that. That's why you should have a journal, right? You should have a place where you can write things out without even having to think about them, right? Mystery cultivates intrigue and respect. Proverbs 31:26 says, she speaks with wisdom and faithful instruction is on her tongue. A woman who doesn't reveal everything all at once is captivating. She lets people discover her in layers, making her presence graceful and intriguing, right? She has a mystery about her. You want to know more, right? And so therefore, when she speaks, you listen, right? Don't explain yourself unnecessarily. Let your actions speak. I like that. Sometimes it is about our actions, right? Rather than us talking all the time. You know those people that just say stuff, but they don't do it. Do you want to be that person? Because I don't want to be that person. When asked a question, give just enough information, not your entire life story. That's me. Thank you, Lord. I got to work on it. Allow people to earn deeper levels of your trust. Let them earn it, right? People value what they earn. People value what they pay for. When you give it away for free, they don't value that, right? When you want something free in a giveaway, all that kind of stuff, you have the tendency not to take care of it as well as something that you worked hard for, right? So let people work for your trust, especially men. They value what they work for. That's built into their nature to work for things. So they value what they work for. Thank you. So, protecting your privacy protects your peace. Luke 2:19 says, but Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. Not everything needs to be announced. Some things should be treasured in your heart until the right time. And that comes from not letting everyone know your every move, because some people are not happy for you. Some people are plotting against you, unfortunately, in this world. And even though we still have to learn how to handle those people in a feminine, faithful way with love, sometimes that means just keeping it to our chest until it is the right time, until God says that it's the right time. Avoid sharing major life updates impulsively. Keep future plans private until they are certain. Listen, There's nothing wrong with changing your mind. The issue is we tell people one thing and then we decide that maybe that's not a good move. We change our mind or we have to pivot and then we do things because we don't want to look like a fool. It is okay to change your mind, sis. It is okay to say, you know what? This isn't what I want. I changed my mind. I decided against this. I don't like this. I don't like the way this made me feel, so on and so forth and so on. And sometimes that comes from us not announcing it until we have made a firm decision or until we've actually done the thing or didn't do the thing, right? I don't want y'all to think that you can't change your mind just because you have a fear of looking stupid. It's okay with making a wise decision, right? It's okay to do what's best for you. So, your success and growth, let your success and growth speak for itself, right? Let your actions speak louder than your words. Feminine women let others talk more. James 1:19 says, everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak. People love being around women who listen well. Being a good listener makes you more attractive, more respectful, and more influential. And we talked about this. Be a good listener. Learn how to listen to people and listen for understanding, not listen for you to give a response. Ask more questions than you answer. Let others share first instead of always leading the conversation. I am not saying that we are not leaders, but sometimes it's best to hold back. And when the worst is when they start asking, I thought you said, yeah. Right? And that makes you feel a certain type of way. Right? And then you're like, well, man, maybe I should have did this and da 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 da. Like, your decisions should be between you, God, and the people that are involved, like the major people in your life, right? It shouldn't be someone influencing you to make a decision because you don't want to look like a fool. Not saying that you look like a fool, you know what I mean, Miss Niecy baby. But yeah, it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to pivot. It's okay to say, you know what, I don't want this after all. I decided against this. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Hold eye contact and nod instead of always filling silence with words, right? We already talked about it. It's okay to be silent. It's okay to be quiet. It's okay to let someone go first. It's okay for a person to share what's going on with them and then you make a response, right? Yeah. Let others talk more. Listen. Like Miss Cassandra said, we got 2 ears, 1 mouth. Let's learn how to be good listeners. Maybe we'll talk about that. Mystery adds elegance and depth to your presence. Ecclesiastes 3:7, I think we said that earlier, a time to be silent and a time to speak. A feminine woman is not loud, boastful, or overly expressive. She moves with quiet confidence. Confidence is very quiet. Confidence is not loud. Confidence is not aggressive. Confidence is not boisterous, okay? And if those things occur, more than likely that person is overcompensating and not confident, right? When someone is loud, when someone does all of the things, y'all know that person, you know that they're not truly confident, that there's some insecurities going on. Move with quiet confidence. Speak softly, not loudly. Maintain an air of grace and self-assurance. And let your energy and presence speak for you. Energy is really big, right? Energy is something that it's our currency as women, especially as women. It's our currency. Who we give our energy to, our time to, our words to, is very important, and we should be very intentional with that, right? We should make sure that we trust them. We should make sure, we should vet people, things like that. Our energy should be expensive. And I don't mean that in necessarily a monetary way. We shouldn't just be out here giving away all of our time for free, right? It's never am I free, right? I'm always expensive, right? I'm never free. Now, do I have time for you? Am I available? That's the question you need to ask. But it's never am I free. I'm very expensive, right? And I don't, like I said, I don't mean that with money. People's time is the most expensive thing that you can have. Me and Sheena were actually talking about this last night. Money, I am, and always probably will be a person that losing money does and gaining money does not faze me. Money is something I know you can get and you can lose, and if you lose it, you can get it right back. I've never been a person that's caught up on money and holding money. Like, to me, when you put your hand out and you give it away, your hand is open for more to be received, right? You'll often hear me, there's an affirmation for money that I always say. I don't know if y'all know who Chanel Cooper Sykes is, but I followed her. She's been through some things, but I followed her on social media years ago, and she used to say affirmations. And one of the affirmations she used to say is, money comes to me easily, freely, frequently, and abundantly. And I promise you it does. For me, I promise you it does. Money comes to me easily, freely, frequently, and abundantly. And I've always been like that. So what's important to me is time. What's important to me is you giving me attention, your energy, you giving me some energy. Those are the things that are important to me, because money, I've never been caught up on it. But resources, your time, your energy, someone sharing a contact with you, things like that, those are truly the expensive things. So, a feminine woman of faith embraces elegance, discretion, and wisdom. She listens more than she speaks. She protects her peace by keeping certain things private, and she allows people to discover her over time, not all at once. Mystery isn't about secrecy, it's about wisdom, discernment, discretion, quiet confidence. Move with grace, speak with purpose, and let your presence speak for itself. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about today. Let me go over the devotional one more again. Day 18, y'all, the power of a soft answer, speaking with wisdom. The Bible verse is Esther 7:3, which is so good, so powerful how she responded. If I have found favor in your sight, O king, if it pleases the king, let my life be spared. She invited him in to make a decision. She gave him the opportunity, right? Please pray for my mom. My sister just called mom. Bell last night. She has a lump on her side, getting ready to take an emergency. I will join you all tomorrow. Okay, Miss Cassandra. We'll definitely keep y'all in prayer. Lord Jesus. Definitely keep y'all in prayer. Please, if you can, you could DM me if you care to share. Let me know. Yes, we'll be praying for your mom. So the devotion is, Esther could have accused the king of ignorance, but instead she spoke softly and wisely. A feminine woman speaks with grace, not aggression. Our affirmation is, my words carry wisdom, grace, and peace. Our action step is today, be intentional with your words. Speak gently with wisdom. Also, more discretion. Be careful in what you share. Be okay with being silent and listening. How can you practice wisdom and patience in your speech? That is our journal prompt. So yes, Miss Cassandra will be praying as soon as I get off here. I hope that your mom's okay. Well, I'm believing and intending that your mom will be okay. By his stripes, she is healed. All right, y'all. So I won't keep y'all. I pray and intend that y'all have an amazing day. Thank y'all for staying with me. Thank y'all for being with me every morning. I appreciate it. And I appreciate everyone that catches the replay. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, I don't want y'all rushing to try to get in here with me. It's great if you do. But if you got to go or if you can't make it, it's okay. The information is available for you whenever you may need it. All right? So Yes, we will be praying for Miss Cassandra's mom and her family. Miss Cassandra, don't, if you can, if you're not on here, don't rush, okay? I know that's your mom and you want to get to her. We're going to ask God for traveling grace, but I don't want you to be hurt as well. So, all right, y'all. Thank you, Miss Adiola. You too, Miss Felika. All right, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful, amazing day. And I will see y'all on tomorrow, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Quick question. What motivated you to get on daily and do devotionals? I wanted to connect with God. And I also wanted to connect with, I wanted to increase my feminine energy, to focus more on being feminine because I saw myself, turning very masculine. And like I said, you need masculine energy, but for me, I don't ever want to get into the mode where I'm always doing stressing, anxious, and worried, because that's how I ended up sick. So that's very important for me. And then I wanted to connect with other women because sisterhood is a big part of femininity that, especially as Black women, I feel that we have gotten away from. So yeah. That was why. So the good Lord said, write this devotional and get on here. So that's what I've been doing. And he told me keep going. So I'm going to keep going till he say don't. Thank you, Miss Anna Island. Thank you, Miss Kimber. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good day. I will see y'all on tomorrow. Yes, everybody pray for Miss Cassandra's mom. Bye, y'all.